Hi guys, my name's Tia and today we're going to interview the general public about their self-esteem in London Trafalgar Square.
Well, for the younger women, there's a lot of pressure on them in all sorts of ways.
The view of what is expected has changed enormously, thank God.
But I think there's still the margin of the female wage, so that's still a bit lower than males, sadly.
I have a teenage girl. My daughter's 17. She's very confused by the pressures, I think, of what you should look like and what you should eat. They try to make them look perfect, as they've always done. They represent them as these brushed up images.
You try to think one way, but then you're told another way is wrong.
People all have faults, and it would be better to just allow those faults to be. We have to look a little deeper at individuality.
So now we've taken the tube over to Leicester Square to see what different people think.
I don't see a lot of people that look like me in a magazine, so I feel like when I do, it can be sometimes a bit negative, not always positive.
Kind of struggle with that a lot, just accepting who I am and the size I am and everything else and the dress size I wear. And I think that we need more representation showing that, you know, it's okay to be who you are. And if I knew that at a younger age, I think it would have helped me then.
Like if you're too thin, if you're too fat, if you're not light enough, dark enough, there's always something people always pick on.
Media tries to push one form of perfection rather than sending a message out that everyone should accept who they are.
They should take more responsibility and kind of, like Rabina said, give a diverse representation of everybody that's here now, not just what they think is like pretty or beautiful. People will say girls shouldn't look to TV, magazines for inspiration, but you do.
It expects women to do everything, to be honest, to have a job, have kids, and also keep a marriage. We don't really have to keep towards those expectations.
If you don't, you're kind of seen as not a real woman. Like you can't do both, but you can do both. You shouldn't be ridiculed if you choose one or the other.
I think they portray them as ideal image, not like in real life. They're an example for you, and if that is if that are the examples, then you want to be like them, and they're not very realistic, so you can never achieve that goal.
You start comparing yourself to those people on the internet.
I think there should be more photos or films with women in them like they are in real life.
It's happening more and more. You see more and more real pictures, but it's still not enough. Like especially very young girls see, they go to the internet the first time and they immediately see all those perfect pictures.
How well do you think the media represents women?
Terrible. Not as accurate or motivating as it could be.
They've got the view that everyone needs to be skinny, they need to look perfect, they need to look just right, and if they're not, then they're like out.
In like the media and magazines and newspapers, it's all about image and trying to be as skinny as you can get to look nice.
They're skinny, they're tanned, they're pretty. They just give the image that everyone's perfect and that we're not. Women are not, they're portrayed for their beauty, not their brains, you know?
Do you think that it needs to change?
Yeah, ASAP. There needs to be a wider range of what you call perfect in society.
Do you think that the media promotes unrealistic body standards?
Yes, entirely.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're like stick thin, they have like what people would call the best figures, so unrealistic to achieve unless you go to extreme lengths to try and get there.
What kind of body standards?
Like, you've got to be skinny. Magazine covers, a lot of the time it's like celebrities on holiday being like shamed for like their figure and their podge or whatever. The expectations that women have today is just not on. It's not on.
Do you think that the media has an overall positive or negative impact on the self-esteem of teenage girls?
Negative.
Definitely negative. I think every teenage girl would agree that negative. The expectations of girls is just affected even if you don't think it's affecting you.
It's not being shown in the right, correct way.
I feel very not victimised, but pressurised by what I see online and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't look like that.
Yeah, and we feel like it's our fault that we don't look like that.
Because it just influences girls to try and be someone they're not.
What do you think society expects a woman to be?
Beautiful, sexy,
Quite unrealistic.
Should have perfect figures, perfect looks.
Tiny waist,
Yeah.
big hips.
kind, smiley, happy, stay at home with the family, and we should do what other people say we should. Not really much empowerment of successful women. If you look in the media, there's always criticisms of successful women. It will be something that's so irrelevant, but they're the way they look.
Unacceptable for girls to do what boys would do and hook up with people, and then they get labelled things like a slut.
If a girl shows authority, they're like, oh my god, you're so bossy. But if a boy was to do that, they wouldn't label them bossy.
Society that's damaging women and their self-esteem because they're creating unrealistic expectations.
It kind of just makes them feel that they're not good enough. They have to meet that expectation. If they don't, they've failed.